Okay, we have completed the promises, promises with along with it the async and the await. Okay. Next, we will start of a very interesting topic, and we are towards the end because another 2-3 sessions we will end JavaScript because we are on the document, and after we have learned about the document, that is the it is part of the DOM, which is document object model, and then we will see the browser object model, which is through the forms and others. Okay, so that will conclude. That is how we will be validating all the forms and what are the form methods, various events that you capture. That is when you use the mouse and on click and on move and all the stuff, mouse over. So whenever you are capturing those events, what do you actually do with these activities? Because these are various activities that you will capture through the browser object model. So these two topics, DOM and BOM, once we complete them, we are fine to conclude all the JavaScript topics. Let us, without any delay, let us start with the DOM. What is a DOM? Anyone has? Let me have this. This is just the comment part. Let me take this out as a comment, and we will take this out as a comment as well. Okay. So when I say a host environment, that is the environment which is on which the JavaScript is working, provides an own objects and functions additional to the language code. Web browsers give a means to control the web pages. Web browsers, that is the browser on which the JavaScript is the inbuilt engine. Node.js provides server-side features and so on. So that is the front end, which you can say the node browsers, and there is a backend, if you can say that that is a server sort of. But whatever we are doing over on a single machine, that is the browser and the JavaScript, that is the Node.js, is on the same single machine. We have installed the Node.js as well. But actually, when a user will use your application, any application, Angular, React, or whatever, then the user terminal or user console or user laptop, user desktop do not need to have Node.js. Okay, wherever your application is deployed, that is whether if it is Angular or React or some other, so then in that server only you need to have the Node.js. So it's a client and server sort of an architecture. So Node.js will provide you the server-side features, whereas the web browser will give you the client-end features, will control the web pages. You say there is a window, and window is a root object. See, in JavaScript, everything is an object, right? We have understood that, isn't it? So here we will have a window, and window is now, it is of three categories. One is the DOM, which is the document object module. BOM, that is the navigator, the screen, the location, frames, history. Now these are basically the front end. Okay, these are basically the front end, and that is the navigator, the screen, the location, the frames, history, and XML, HTTP request. And document, through this document, you will be accessing all this. There is some noise like this. Okay. And there is this JavaScript. JavaScript will provide you with all the objects, array, and functions that we have learned so far. That will be on the back end. This will be on the front end. This will be on the front end, and JavaScript with all this Node.js and everything will be on the back end. That is the server-side features. But the entire thing is actually through the root object, which is window. Let's say I have started with a script. Now this portion is just the JavaScript portion embedded within the HTML document. What is the document here in this case? Though I have not specified HTML, that is doc type HTML, and then I have not specified HTML, and I have not specified title. I have no, I'm not giving anything. I can leave that blank. I'm not giving any title. Okay. And after that, I have not given, let's say we have not given the head. We have not given the head, and then we have not given the body. We have not given the body. These are part of this document, the entire document. Now the script is already embedded within that under the body. So body will have the embedded script, not under head, not under title, not under HTML. It is under the body, but body is also under HTML. But once we have declared all this, we need to, this is the hierarchy. We need to, first what we need to close according to the hierarchy? Anyone?
Body.
Body. See, I have just pressed a backslash, a front slash. Immediately the body comes because it knows. And after that, what?
Sir, HTML.
Yes, because all the head, title and the head we have already closed.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, HTML. And after that, we have to close what?
Sir, nothing.
Nothing. Yes, very good. So this is the root node. These are called node elements. But this root is not a element. It is a node. These are also nodes, but these are element nodes. Okay, the head, title, body. But this script is not a node. If you have given a function, if you had given a comment like this thing within the body, you have given a comment. Just a comment. This is a comment. Okay. Now this is also a part of the node. We will see that everything that you specify with some element tags, that will be either a node or an element. Now, each of these is identifiable because these are objects. These are objects. So within this, I will use the DOM object to access all these inner objects. That is what sometimes is needed, and most of the times it is needed in JavaScript. If you have to control the control the front end, the browser, I need to have JavaScript access these elements, which are the document elements. We will check that. So let me take this out because this is not needed. And also the DOM, this is the model, document object model. This model understands whether you mention or not. It will understand that you have tried to give all this. These are all hidden, as if it knows. Okay. And if you mention something of the elements and they are not in proper sequence, it will not accept. But This model, you have to follow that model framework. But if you even don't mention it, the framework knows that I can execute this only, I will fill it up. I will fill up the missing links. So it can execute this. So let me execute this. And this I am directly going to go, because this is an HTML file. I will directly go and execute on the default browser. This page says hello. This is the alert. Hello. And the browser window height is 730. What did I do? I said, first of all, I said hello. I've created a function called say hi, and within that function, I have a alert hello. Okay. Now the global functions are methods of the global object. Now window is a global object like this, which will have all these inner objects inbuilt, DOM, BOM, and JavaScript. So it can execute that. It can execute a JavaScript function. This window object, which is an object from this DOM model. Okay, that is a root object window. I can access directly a function called say hi, because say hi is a function which you have built over through a script, JavaScript, where you are saying that alert browser window height. Now you are just saying that for this object, I have an inner height, that is the height of the window, that is the browser window. That is the height. So in case of a mobile, this height will be lesser than that of a laptop or a desktop. But you have extracted one property out of an object, which is the inner height. That's how you are going to display you are first of all greeting as hello, because you are calling that function. And then that function also says that browser window height, not the function. This is just the outside the function. It is, you are displaying that browser window height. This is one property. Okay. You have called this function. Fine, then I will, as usual, close this with a comment. Any questions here?
Yes, sir.
What is the question?
Sir, in alert, we have given the Windows dot inner height. If we will give the width, then inner width,
Okay.
if we will give.
Oh, valid question. So what you do, just you just, I have to take out that comment. See, window is an object. Okay, you say plus
Yes,
window, just press dot. If that event is already there, if that particular inner height, yes, it is there, inner width. So you just have to explore the object properties or object methods. Okay, that is, you already understand that.
okay.
Yeah. So in that case, what you do? No, it's fine. You have to ask. You can give a gap. Okay, now I save it and then execute this. Hello. Then, yeah, the browser window height is this thing, 730. And then this one is, the width is 1536. So this is sort of a rectangle. It depends. It will vary from device to device on which the browser is running, right?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Sir?
Yeah.
Sir, it's me, sir, Rehan.
Rehan, tell me.
Sir, this keyword, if used on a global scope, it is also a window-based object.
This
Dot window.
Yeah, it depends on you want to say, if you say this dot window.
Yes, sir. I mean, sir, I want to ask whether this can be used as a global, because sir, this wherever we use this, if it is inside the block, then it will refer to that block. If it is at a global scale, then
It
that
would,
also becomes a global object.
yes, correct. It is correct. But this has to expose only a particular object. Okay, if window is part of this window, yes, it will be. This dot window, you can use it. Let us see whether you are basically this will point to a particular object in this context. I mean, if it is within that, if it is within this, then that is the scope limited to that particular function. I mean, this will work on that particular objects, whatever has been defined within that function. Otherwise, it is a, if this is a global object, so this will work on the global object as well. Yeah, it works. Fine, let us proceed with this part. Okay, and now let us work on the other part, which is we are saying that we are using, see, once you are inside the script, you can use this type of comments, a single line comment or a block comment, okay, because you are in the JavaScript. But if you are doing something over here, like you cannot give something of a comment here, DOM is document object model. Do you see this? The color doesn't change to green because here you cannot do understood, because whatever this is a particular document, and that according to the DOM, this will be having the elements, the nodes, okay. And what is the node before the script? Where should the, what is the element, what is the tag where the script would be embedded? It should be body, and body, these are all part of the HTML elements. Therefore, I will not be able to give anything like a comment, either this or this. I have to give a comment like this way. Okay. So remember, whenever you are using, once you use script, then whatever you do it within the script is like a JavaScript. It is a JavaScript, and therefore in the JavaScript you can use Java-like comments. We are using strict, so forget about this one, because we can configure that. Whenever we will we are going to use TypeScript, you will see that by default you are using a strict type of compatibility when you are, so that can be configured directly in a particular place in a configuration file. Okay, but that is the that is when we will learn. It is called a tsconfig.js. That will be that we will learning in the TypeScript for Angular. Here, either you can use strict, or you can avoid it. Now in this, we are going to give a comment. Okay, we are executing this part. What is that? We are trying to understand the DOM object model. The document object is the main entry point to the page. So what is the page? Page is the web page. The document object is the main entry point, without which the page doesn't have any other entry point. We can change or create anything on the page using it. So if you understand the DOM, the document object model, we will be able to change or manipulate or create something on the page itself. The DOM specification, this is important. This is some protocol that has been, there's some guidelines or a framework. The framework explains the structure of a document and provides objects to manipulate it. So you can have the structure of a document and it has given you the specific objects to manipulate those in the elements or whatever, the nodes. There are non-browser instruments that use DOM too, but let us just focus on the objects that can manipulate it. DOM objects. Example, change the background color to red. So I see that document is, what is that document? It is an HTML document, doc type, document dot body. Now this is an object. This is another object which has been called sub-object, which is part of this, the entire body, the root document. And then it is having a function called style, and style has an attribute called background. And I'm setting that attribute as red. So what I'm doing for this entire body of the document, I'm setting a background as red. And then again, I am using a JavaScript function, set timeout, where I'm using a arrow function, which is a lambda expression, saying that I will change it back to nothing, back to the original one after 1 second. Is that fine? Let us execute this script. And there is the, we will complete this, then we will execute the script. Then the browser object model, and the BOM is also the part of a general HTML specification. Basically, the HTML specification is important. Here we have the DOM specification. Here is the browser specification, which is the HTML specification. The browser object model represents additional objects provided by the browser host environment for working with everything except the document. Here, the document manipulates whatever is within the framework of the DOM. And then browser object model will have this additional objects which will control the browser, okay, for the objects which were not handled by the document. The navigator object provides background information about the browser and the operating system. There are many properties, but the two most widely known are navigator user agent, which is about information about the current browser, and navigator.platform about the platform, can help to differ between Windows, Linux. So you know which platform you are working for, because Windows, like Windows, Linux also will have a browser. Mac will also have a browser. So it is important for you to understand the because based on the navigator or the platform or the user agent, okay, you can change your or you can manipulate your objects. So those things are not exposed by the framework of DOM, but it is through the browser, through the BOM. Like for example, I'm not worried. I'm just trying to find out the location.href. Now location is from the browser object model. Okay, and this is the URL. You are basically trying to find out what is the current URL. If you confirm, there's a confirm is a JavaScript function. You say that you are giving a message, like sort of an alert, that, but it will take you, an alert has only a single button, which is OK. You cannot input your either okay or you do not want to, you want to cancel, all these things, it is not there. Alert is just a statement of alert. But here, if you use confirm, it is sort of an alert, but having two keys, two buttons. One, the okay, and one is cancel. That means you do not want to. So what you are being asked is to go to Wikipedia. These are browser specific. Okay. Then you say that, okay, I have a confirmation that I want to go to Wikipedia. So you say just whatever you say is, you know, the URL of Wikipedia, and you say location.href. You assign it, redirect the browser to go to this particular site because you wanted to go to Wikipedia site. So this location.href will help you to open another page. This particular URL. But this is not a property of, or not an object of document DOM. This is basically. So based on this two, just a simple example, what we can say, we can save this, and we will try to see the output. What we are trying to do is, first of all, we are setting a timeout of 1 second. Initially, we will change the background color to red, and then it will come back to the original color. Let's see whether it works or not. The second part is working. Okay. Yeah, the document body style background equal to red. You are setting it red, but it is not setting it red. Okay, there is a reason. We will explore that reason afterwards. Here it will work. We will come to that part. Let's say this part didn't work. Fine. We will execute this again. It directly goes to the, what it is saying, this page is the current URL. The current URL is nothing but this one. This is the BOM object. You are using the location, current location ref, href. And then you are going to give a confirmation of whether you want to go to Wikipedia. You see now the alert has two buttons, okay and cancel. So you say okay. It will change the page from that Devashish default whatever to this one. You have gone to Wikipedia. So somehow by using this, you were able to change the particular page, the current page. You have given the current href, but then you have changed over to some other href based on your confirmation. This part is working. This part is not working. Let's see why. We will comment this out for the time being. And we will say comment. We are closing the comment. Now let us come over here. We have a DOM tree structure. Let's find out what is that tree structure. Okay. Let me change this comment. Let me take out this comment. As we already have understood that this is the tree structure. Fine. I will also take this out. And take this out. Okay, fine. So when we say that we wanted to understand the DOM, we have already discussed that it should be having a root node, which is this document. But this is actually not a part of that element. You cannot manipulate this part of the object. This is also an object, but you cannot manipulate this. You can start using from the HTML. HTML is the root one after the doc type. And then we have this HTML, the head, whatever you have this as properties, then the title, then you close the head and you start the body. And also, as I said, comment is also a node type beside the element and text nodes. So these are the elements. Okay. And so therefore the node, I mean that comment, if you have given a comment, here we have given a comment. So this is also a node type. Okay. Understood? Let's see. This is the DOM tree. According to the DOM, every HTML tag is an object. As I said, this one is an object, this one is an object, this one is an object, this one is an object. According to the model, every HTML tag is an object. The text, because it's an object, therefore you are being able to manipulate it. So the DOM will have the object methods which can manipulate these objects or the HTML tags. The text inside a tag is an object as well. So whenever we say H2, which is a tag, and then we say this is a text. This text is not a text only, it is an object. Okay. All these objects are accessible using JavaScript. Now, that is why these are objects, because JavaScript will give you this provision to handle each and every element of the browser, whether it's a comment, whether it's a text, whether it's a element object through the IDs and all those stuff. Because each of these elements or objects will have a unique ID. They are not the same as HTML is not the same object as head. Okay. Title is not the same as body. So they will have, you can identify them with the ID. So if that is an object and you can manipulate that object. Now let's see, you have something. Here you didn't have anything. You just had a script. You didn't have any object as such. Here, why didn't we, where is that? Yeah. Here, this portion failed. I didn't see any effect. Because did you have any elements? It is just started with a script, ended with a script. But in the script, you tried to manipulate some elements of the document. But there is no document that you have specifically, you have no elements into that document. The tag is an object, but the tag will come into life whenever there is a text or a comment or something of some value. There is some value to that tag. Okay. Since it didn't have anything, therefore it didn't expose anything. It didn't manipulate anything. Here we have started from the root node and we have something of a text and a text. Okay. And also we had a comment. We have a comment. So now we are this entire document from here to here. Also, script is a part of the document, definitely. So entire thing is an HTML document, and this document background, now I'm trying to change the style with a background of red. And I'm also setting the timeout of 1 second, that by 1 second, after waiting for 1 second, this red will change it to back to white. Let us execute this, whether it works or not. Let's see. Did it happen now?
Yes, sir.
Yes,
Yes, sir.
because you didn't have the DOM structure at all initially, the earlier use case. Now you had something. You had learning JS DOM with a H2 element within the header, and then you had something a title. Okay, title you haven't seen. Okay, let's see. See, this is the H2. This is the header, and this was part of the header. You know HTML. I don't think I can go into details of this, but here there is a title. You see, the title I have given is DOM tree dash change background color. This just I have given a title to this particular page. This is a page, a document page, and you have manipulated the background of this page. Okay, so this is how we have to learn about the DOM such that, because here is our playing ground. This entire browser is our playing ground. And unless and until we know how to manipulate this ground, it will be difficult for you to learn the high-end this thing front ends like Angular, React, or you will be not be using correctly the styling or the bootstrap and the HTMLs and the CSS. Okay, those are for the presentation. And if you cannot handle the presentation correctly, along with the browser, JavaScript, you need to validate. You need to do something on the objects of the document or the browser. That's why we are learning this particular topic, which is very important as well. We are not handling the form right now. Form is a different topic we will take up after we have learned about DOM and BOM. So let me comment this out. Is there any questions up to this?
No, sir.
Okay. Okay, we have commented it out. That is one problem, while because you have to give a here now I have completed the comment. Okay. Let us start with this. Okay, this is an entire note. What is the note saying? The note saying is that the note says that DOM tags. What are the DOM tags? An interesting special case is tables. What do you think? Table is also a part of the DOM? By DOM specification, they must have a T-body tag. T-body, T-head. The table can be divided into two sections, the header and the body. Okay. So that T-body tag, but HTML text may omit it. Then the browser creates, because it is by the DOM framework, like we have omitted. If you omit this document HTML head, and you just have a script, okay, that is fine also. But by the DOM structure, what will it do? The document body specification will put on this missed out structure. Yeah, this will not be there. Learning in JS DOM, DOM tree change, all this title and the heading will not be there. But at least it will be having this HTML, the HTML head, title, and the body. Definitely, because you have started with a script doesn't mean that these will be omitted. So if you have, even for a table which is also part of the DOM specification, if you have omitted, mostly we start with, in a table, we start with a TR, we end with a TD and TH, right? But there is an implicit T body and a T head. So then the browser creates T body in the DOM automatically. You don't, even if you don't specify, it will be created. This is just for your knowledge. HTML may have a table like tag like this table, and you can give an ID. As I said, any element, any tag or any type of object, this is a table object. Okay, table tag. It will be identified with an ID. You can give any name to that ID. That will be, should be unique. And then you have a row, table row, and then the table
Data.
data. That is basically the fields. So a row will be having multiple fields, or a single field, doesn't matter, but it will have fields. So combination of fields and row, or the columns and the row, will make a table. So that is, you are combining with row and the data, which is the table, which is the fields. This is the entire table structure under the DOM. But here there is actual DOM structure will be like this. T body, under the body, this is the body portion. In the body only you have the, and before the body you can have a T head. If you want to give a header to that table, you can do that. But these are the column headings. Okay. Sorry, it is the column data, not the headings. The column headings, for that you need to have a T head, TH. Okay. But if you have omitted this, so by default, this table is not specifically having any head, but it's empty head. There are 12 node types. So in all, in a browser, in a DOM structure, in a, remember there are 12. In practice, we usually work with 4 of them. These are a bit difficult to remember. So better to have a note of this. There are 12 node types. Okay. So what is that? First of all, it is the document. What is the document? This is the document, HTML. You have declared that document. That is one node document. What is the, which is the entry point into any DOM? Whether you mention it or not, do not mention, it is there. Element, which are nodes, like the HTML tags. Okay. The building blocks of the tree. Then there are text node. What is the text node? Will you say this is a text node? Yes. Text node. And will you say comments is also a node? Sometimes we can put the information there, it won't be shown, but it won't be shown on the browser. But that doesn't mean this is not a node, it is also a node. Because it is a node, JavaScript can read it as an object from the DOM, correct? So what are the 4 important elements, 4 important objects of this node types of a DOM? It is, first of all, it is document, then the element, then the text, and finally the comments. Other than that, there are 8 other node types. Also, all operations on the DOM start with the document object. That's the main entry point, but that is from it, because you have to be on the root node, which is doc type. Then only whatever the child elements and the nodes will be accessible. So you have to have an access to this particular uh, root node, the document node, which is the entry point. Now let us see, we would like to traverse the DOM. We would like to traverse the HTML, the body, the head. What do? You will say that I want to use the document entry point, which is the doc type, and I then want to go to the document element. Now, what is the immediate element to the document, doc type? So which one is apparently the root element if it is an HTML document?
ID.
No, not ID. The document, this is the object, this is HTML. This is the element, which should be, the body cannot be before the HTML. That is the structure. You cannot violate that. So a TR, if you mention a T body, then TR cannot appear before T body. TR is embedded within a T body. So the parent element of TR is T body. Similarly, parent of all the elements is the HTML. So the document element, it is called the document root element, is HTML. And the document.body is simple. It is body and document.head. So this way I can access the head object, I can access the body object, and I can access the HTML element object. Let us see that. Let us take out this comment. And these are all okay. What we are trying to do is, first of all, save it. Within HTML, we have head, and then we didn't give any title. That's fine. There's the empty title. Script. I'm directly going to the JavaScript. I'm saying alert. I'm given a message from head HTML. That means we are trying to read the HTML. How can you do that? You have to always go through the document type or the document, the root node. Document dot document element. Remember, always the second word will be in capital. Basically, you do not need to type it or remember it. You do not need to remember it, because you just go here, you type the document, because that is the final one. And you can browse through it. You know HTML. You can go through it. So all the object, this document, this the initial, this particular document object will have all this particular. This is a method. This sign is a method. Okay, what is this sign? This is a property. Whenever you see a cube type of, not cube, sort of a box type of this thing, you understand that these are all properties. Whenever you get like this, you will see that this is a method. You are not going to create elements. You are just trying to access that element. So I want to use the document and document element, HTML element, right? See, document element will expose what? HTML. Okay, we will see that. We'll see that. And then, but everything, remember, these are all objects. So document element, which is an HTML, is an object. And alert from the head, body. Okay. That this is definitely this script is under what? This is under head, and this script is under body. These are two different things. Can you access anything which is okay? So body gives you document body, null. So can you? My question is, now you are on the head element. Did you go to body? So if you are trying to access body element from the header section, will you be able to do that? No, it will not return anything. Again, because mainly we will understand that we should be on the very lower rank of the element to access all the higher above elements and this and that. If you are there on head, you cannot access anything from the head, from the body. Therefore, you should be, that's why it is called body, that you must remain in the body to gain an access of all the other elements. Okay. From the body, you can access body, and also you can go to access HTML. Therefore, you can access head. Therefore, you can access title and everything. Okay. Can we just see that? That from the body also you can access HTML, and from the head, of course, you can access HTML, but from the head, you cannot access any object from body. Fine. Let's execute this. Now I'm in the head in this section. In this section of the head section, I'm saying from head HTML, I'm accessing document HTML. So this is nothing but HTML, and this is given by JavaScript. This part, sorry. Sorry, not. I have given this one. We have given this one. This one. This is the value, because this you have tried to access some object which is document element, and we know that it's an HTML. Therefore, it's an object, and what is that object? It is an HTML element. This is how JavaScript will represent the value. Okay, this is the HTML actually, and that object is HTML element. We say okay, but the from head, if I try to access something of an element or an object of body, we are getting nothing, null, as usual. Now we are in the body section, body element. Then we have given this message. JavaScript is saying it is an object HTML body element. You always see that this is a sort of this is the value that this thing gives. This is the object, actual object, body element, and prepended by HTML, because everything, the root of all these elements or all these objects are HTML. Therefore, it is prepending HTML with this. Now, from body, we can access the higher hierarchy. I mean that something which is there on the upper level, which is HTML. And I'm saying that, yes, it is an HTML object, HTML element. Okay. I hope you understood this. Any questions?
No, sir.
Hello? Did you understand this part? The structure, how
Yes,
you
sir.
access HTML. HTML is
Yes, sir. Yes.
okay. Yeah, fine. So traversing the DOM through particular objects, but always see that this is the root object, which is the document, through which this is the entry point. Now let's say apart from HTML, this is also an element script. Okay, this head we have understood, which is document.head. We have body, we have understood. But apart from the HTML head and body, there are so many other elements. Those are children, child nodes, first child. There is a sibling and also a last child, next sibling. Okay, we will check all these things. Sibling, you know, the sister child, the sister thing. Let us do section by section so that there is no hurry. We will learn everything. Now, this is the entry point. These are the various elements. Now we have a text node as well. Here it is saying begin. Just some message. Div. Now div is another element. And I have a list item information. And it is unordered list. Okay. It's not an ordered list. But anyway, I'm saying that within the, see, I have started with the body. In the body only you can do all these things. So div, I cannot have, a div, I cannot have in the HTML tag or in the header section. I will have to have this, all these things in the body. Fine. Now, I will go through, and I have also something called end. So begin, end, and the information. That will be coming with a, I think, with a bullet. I would like to, okay, let me see that LM. Now, this is another object. You want to get the child node, the children. So you will you will start with LM. LM is the entry point, element is the entry point for accessing the child nodes and all those child elements. And these are nothing but, it's sort of an array. Element equal to, you know that this is a strict checking and strict equality, which is 3 equal to signs. You are saying that I am going to store, not store, I am going to check whether the child nodes array, in this array, the first element, which is in index number 0, is the first child. Will it return true or false? Properties first child and last child gives fast access to first and last children. So you are using a property called for the LM object, the first child and the last child. Then you can say child nodes, and you are trying to find out the last element. You are putting in the last element. Element dot last child is the entire element array length of the child nodes minus 1, isn't it? Because if you have 5 elements, so what is the last index number? If you have 5 child elements, which is an array, 5 elements, what is the last index number?
4.
4. So therefore, I am taking out minus 1 from 5. So this will give 5. Let's say there are 5 elements in this particular. These are all the elements. Okay. And you are trying to find out. So this minus 1, which will give the index number. So that index number, you are storing the last child. You are checking that whether it's the last child. Or what you can do is that you can use a loop. You can use the length. You know that I equal to 0, I less than equal to document.body, because you are interested with all the child elements within the body. Okay. you cannot end the body over here because the script is also part of that body. And what you are trying to say is that I want to repeat the loop for n number of times, which is nothing but the length. And I'm increment the I. Alert document.body child nodes. You are saying child nodes and I. So child nodes will expose the body is the root of the child, root element of child nodes. So there can be an array of child nodes. Okay. And this is will start from 0, 1, 2, and whatever. It will display, it will alert whichever are the text, whichever is the div, whichever is the UL, the unordered list. These are all elements, right? So, and also the script is also an element. We will check that. Or you, as you have known the previous day, that for iterating through the loop, iterating through the through some object, you can always use, unlike in Java, you can use the enhanced for loop. Here you can either use for or in, for of or for in. Here we are using of. For let node of. Here the problem is I have to pick up the length. So this loop becomes a bit slow. Pick up the length. I have to access the entire browser. I have to browse the entire array. That will take, and it will give the length. Then I have to loop through it. It is not a very efficient way, but this is a very efficient way of looping. For of. Document body child nodes. Now again, you are always trying to get the child node, and the object and the function is child nodes, which is given by body and which is given by the document naturally. So body has the child nodes, and I am trying to display that node through alert. So this is child nodes is a collection object, or you can say an array object, list, basically a list object. Alert, you say array dot from. So this is another way that you can display this, whether that particular thing is an array, and from that you are displaying the child nodes with a filter. We will see what will it display, which element does it display. Okay. Don't use the foreign loop over collection. In collection, maybe because it will, you know the difference between for of and for in. Initial classes sessions we have taken for of and for in. Let's say in an array there are 20 elements. Out of 20 elements, only the first and the last element has some value. The rest are all blank. So for of what will it do?
Do not know, sir.
Why? We have gone through all those things in the very, very early sessions, not in the advanced Java. Earlier sessions in the fundamentals, we have learned about for-f when we studied array. Remember? When we studied arrays. You see, this is an empty array. You have the first element as 5 and the last element, which is 9, which is the 10th element, as 9. When you loop through with for of, for n of nums is a object, array object, you get all the 10 elements. Here there are 10 elements, right? All the 10 elements,
Yes, sir.
but
No, sir.
huh?
No. I know, sir.
You
I
know,
know this. Yes, yes.
You just maybe you have forgotten for the time being, but we have gone
I
through.
just confused, sir. According to name, 4 up and 4 in. So,
4 off, and 4 off will display all the 10 elements. First element it will have 5, last element it will have 9. The rest 8 elements will be empty. It will display. But for in, it will only display the first element and the last element because it has a value. But our purpose in this, so did you get me? Where will you use? Suppose you don't want to pick up the empty elements, then you use for in. But if you want to pick up all the elements, whether that element is empty or having a value, doesn't matter. Then what will you use? For off. If you want to display everything, all the elements. That's why here I'm saying in this, I am trying to use 2 loops. One is for, of. Oh, you got confused with the let. I just take away let, doesn't matter. For node of, so some variable which will pick up the child node. First child node, it will go to node. So node becomes that by coercion. That it will be that type. So element type it will be. If the element is if the thing was text, it will be a text. If it is a div, it will be a div. If it is a UL, it will be a UL. If it is a script, it will be a script. Followed? So first child it will pick up, then the next child, the next child, the next child, till the child nodes array or the object, collection object is empty. No more. This thing is there. Okay. What I'm saying is don't use the for in loop, because in this we will only get the elements which have a value. Are you getting me? In this particular use case, I'm not saying that you will never use for in. I'm saying because my use case is I will try to list all the child nodes, whether of the body, whether it is null, whether it's empty or not empty. Therefore, I'm going to use for of. You will see the difference. Then parent node. If there is a node, there can be a parent node. If it is not the root node. See, document type, doc type, does it have any parent node? Will it have any parent node?
no, sir.
No, because that is the starting point. But other elements or other nodes will have a parent node. Next sibling. Next sibling is a child having a sister child. Or that means there is a next sibling and the previous sibling. We will understand that. That is, there is an element. That's why you say next, previous. That's how you browse. Okay. I want to find out the parent node of body. What will I do? I am trying to check that whether the parent node of body is document element. What is document element? Again, I'm asking, what is document element?
HTML object.
Yes, very good. So you are saying that is document.body parent node equal to that is strict equality, which is an HTML? Yes, it should return true, because body parent node is what?
HTML.
HTML, of course. And what is the next sibling of head? See, title is not the next sibling. Title is a child. Next sibling is in the same level. See, body is in level with head. body and head are both under HTML. So you need to know the tree structure. If I have to give a head, I will say, I will give it, okay, I will give it head here. Okay, then I will have to shift the, see, body is the body and head on the same level.
Yes, sir.
So can I say that head and body are siblings to each other?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Head is a previous sibling to body, and body is a next sibling to head. Can I say that?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And can I
Yes,
say,
sir.
and can I say head, HTML is the parent head, parent node of head,
Yes,
Yes.
sir.
Yes, sir. Definitely.
and HTML is a parent node of body?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, that's where. See, the basic three things is HTML, body, and head. The rest are all children, child element. This is the parent, and these two are siblings. The rest, everything is child. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Parent node, this will return true or false? It will return true because parent node of body is HTML. So head has a next sibling. What is that? It should be body. And body has a previous sibling. What should be that? Head.
Head.
Head. And I'm just displaying, this is after the script. This is after the script, and within the body, I can type anything. That will be displayed. That will be displayed. Or if you know HTML, you can say, I want to give it in a paragraph shape. Okay. As if it is a part of paragraph. You can do that. Or you might not give anything. That's up to you. Just I'm giving that this is also a text, right? This is also a text. This is also becoming a part of the element. So let us run this. Will I? Just to check what we have done till now.
Yes,
It's
sir.
becoming a bit difficult.
No, 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 sir.
Okay. Yes. Let us go through the code. Then we will understand. The first thing, it is saying object text. Okay. I'm actually, we have done this document. Okay. Within the body, we have a text called begin. And within that, we have an unorganized list. And that list is having one value called information. And then we have another text called end. Fine. So first, what will it pick up? Because we are in the loop. We are in the loop of the body child nodes. Okay. So first, what it is picking up? It is picking up text. Why? Why? It is this text, begin. Let's see. I will press OK. Now, it is picking up object, which is HTML object, and div element is the object. What is div element? Why? Because this text, see, always it will pick up the inner element first, then the outer element. The inner element is the text element. It says I first found out that element. The first element of in the 0 position is of child node. This is a node, text node. It is it is a text. Then it went to div. It pick up the div. Okay. So it is a div object, div element. Next. Again, it has picked up text. Why? Why? Because it has picked up information, text, which is just a text node. Next, then it is picking up HTML, UL, UList. That is UL. Okay. Why? Because it has picked up this element, UL. Then naturally, which one will be picked up? Object text. End. And again the div element. Div element. It did not pick up li, or did it? It did not pick up li. Can anybody tell me why? Can anybody tell me why? See, this is also an element. Li is also an element. It is picking up because why did you understand?
Because it shows in a text.
No. Text it has picked up. Text it will always pick up. Just think one more time. What we have given, what is the command that we have given? Body, under body, child nodes. We are alerting only the body because we are picking up only the child nodes of body. Is this a child node of body, Li? It is a child node of UL.
Yeah, it is not the child node of
Yes.
body.
Yeah. If you had said that I would go for the next sibling of child nodes of your body, then it will come to Li. Because these div and UL are in the same line, in the same column. So they have a parent node of body, but not Li. Li's parent node is UL. That's why it has not picked up. Then again, what will happen is how many times it will keep on. HTML script element. Because script is also part of the text. Here it has picked up this text, and then after that it has gone to the text, gone to pick up the script element. And object text so now it has gone to this loop. Okay. Div element, object text, list element, div element, function filter native code. Okay, where did it go? Function filter native code. It has executed this for, it has executed this for, and now it has gone to this one, it has gone to next sibling. No, there was some filter. Yeah, it has come to this part. It has displayed all the elements that it could display from here. Then it went to this this also, and also it kept on printing all the nodes. That way it is also possible, because this is far better. This loop is far better than this one. And also it has come to this. So there are three loops. That's why you are seeing so much of repetition, right? Finally, after it has done this, it has come to alert array from document body childhood needs filter. Basically, it is saying that it is the function filter function that you are trying to. Anything is also an object. This function is also an object. This array function from is also an object, which is a filter object, filter function. Just to say that whatever you are doing here, this is also you are creating a filter, not creating, you are calling a filter function from the array. So what it is alerting? It is alerting that you are accessing a function called filter. It's a native code. Okay. These are the various numbers. How many nodes you are having, entries. Keys, values, for each, length, item. So this is actually the child nodes from being given by this alert prop. Finally, after, see, the alert is the JavaScript object. So that will be executed first. Before the script part will be executed first in the body. Then whatever the header, the body text and everything, that will be displayed. So finally, this will be on the browser. That is always the way. So it will allow, the DOM framework will allow for all the manipulations and checking of all the document elements by the JavaScript, if there is any JavaScript code embedded. Afterwards, it will execute the HTML part. So this is the text begin of the unordered list. And this is the list information. And this is the end text of unordered list. And then after that, there is some text, what you have written. Is it more or less clear? If I take this out, for the time being, I do not want to display this. I mean, I will not loop through this like this. I will also not loop with this. And this is fine. This is okay. You're giving the function. I would like to loop through only this and also have this part. What is the next sibling? What is the previous sibling? Okay, this three part I'm trying to execute. Fine. To differentiate what is getting displayed now. So that's why we are trying to say that don't use for in loop over the collections, because it is just giving you the node number, that is how many elements you are doing. This is not the correct way. You always do with a for off. You are getting me? Why we have not asked you to do it. If you want to browse through what you wanted to understand, what are the elements in this particular document, HTML document. then you do not use this. It is just giving you the number 0. It is starting from 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries, 7 entries, keys. We are still under this. Keys is one element. Values. For each. Length. So whatever is the child nodes that will be under body, it is just listing out. Item. Now it is over. Now this one is, it is executing this part. It is true. It should display body, not object text. Oh, maybe this one is still continuing. Oh, let's execute this again. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 entries, keys, values for each length item. Now this is true. This is true. After head goes body. Document. I'm alerting document head next sibling. What is the next sibling after head? Oh, it should be text. Is it text? Text. And also this one is text. Okay. The next sibling is actually giving you the head. Head has a next sibling, not the body, but the body's first element. So see, the first element is always a text before the body comes. Therefore, it has displayed the text. Okay. And the previous sibling is also a text. For body, the previous sibling is also a text. Because this is the text. Any questions here? Sorry. Undan?
No, sir.
But are you understanding?
Yes, sir.
Though maybe you might not be ever using previous sibling, next sibling, but just for your knowledge, that is you are trying to, we are trying to understand. What is this example like? Element only in navigation. That means you want to navigate through only the elements and not any other things. In many instances, we want to manipulate element nodes that represent tags and form the structure of the page. Like first element child, last element child, first and last element, that is the element, the first element and the last element of an array. Previous element sibling, next element. Here what we use? Previous sibling. So it could be element, it could be text, it could be div, anything. But here we are saying that it is only the previous element sibling, next element sibling. That means only we are interested with the elements. That is the neighboring elements. The parent element, we say for the parent element. For an example,
So neighboring elements means what?
Neighboring element means the sibling. The sibling just now we have seen, na?
Yes, sir.
Debojyoti?
Yes, sir.
Just now we have seen that who are the siblings? This head and body are the siblings.
Siblings. Yes.
But if the body has a text, then the head will have a next sibling as text begin.
Yes, sir.
Then immediate next. Okay, and the body will have a next sibling or the previous sibling as head. For an example, if there is an HTML body, div, begin, information, end, like the previous one, then we are saying, let me use this. We want only the element to be navigated. Okay. So this entire thing I have to here I just give this one. Entire thing I would like to include that. And here I would like to end it here. Yeah. So let's say this is an example. We have this document like this. Here, okay, can I start with an HTML and do not close it? No, it should not be. So what I do, I take this out and take this out. Okay. So let's say this is the entire document from here to here. Fine. So under the script, we are saying the document element, parent node. What should be the parent node? What will be displayed as an alert? It should be what? See, parent element is what? A document element is what? HTML?
HTML.
So who is the parent of HTML? Parent node, not element. So what will you give? You will give parent node. Who is the parent node? Parent node is the document, doc type. Now, even if you don't mention it, it understands. Because it is part of that framework of DOM. So basically, whenever you say parent node, it will say that it is a document object. Because every parent, the root document is the document doc type, which is the entry point. But if you say parent element, it is not an element. HTML is an element, body is an element, but doc, the entry point is doc type is not an element. It's a node from where everything starts. The root node, root of that tree. Okay. The reason is that the root node document element HTML has document as its parent, has document as its parent. But document is not an element node. So parent node returns it and parent element does not. Parent element does not. And for let element of, you can omit that let. For ln, just a variable of document body children. You can use children as well. So body has children, various children. Script is also a children. and you are wanting to only find the element, alert element. Okay. So children will specify, you had said the child nodes. There is an array of child nodes. So whatever, the comment is also a node. But here you are mentioning children. It is something different from child nodes. These are child elements of body. We are trying to list that. More links and the tables. Let's say table ID table and TR 1 and 2. These are the various data for the column. There are two columns. 1 and 2 are the values. Okay. And another row, the next row, the data is 3 and 4 under the two fields. I have not given the heading of the columns. I have not given TH. I could have given that. Like what you have T head and T body. Similarly, this is part of the T body. This TR. This ends here. Again, another table, we say, the table ends, table ends. We start a script. We are saying that get TD with the 2, first row, second column. You are trying to access this 2. So what you say, let some variable equal to table is the object and rows 0. Now these are part of the table object, rows and columns. If you say table dot, you will get rows. You will get rows. And if you say dot, you will get under rows, you will get cells. Okay. But here what you are doing is you are initializing the TD with zeroth row. What is the 0th row? That is the first row. First row means this one. 1 and 2 are the two cells of the first row. And the second row, there are two cells, 3 and 4. So row 0, cell 1. Row 0, that means this one. And which one is the cell 1? Cell 1, this one is 0 and this one is 1. So this one you are accessing. You are putting that under the table data. So TD style background, you want to make this, want to make this 2 as in red color. See how you have accessed an element. This is an element of TD. Okay. So TD, which is an object now, the style background, you are making it red to highlight it. Now you can also write an exercise that select all diagonal cells left top to right bottom and paint it. This is basically the solution, but I will not go through that solution. You have to do it. So what you have to do it, if you can understand this, I think you have started well. I will put that into the chat. If you can copy this as an assignment. Okay, just organize it. That 5:1 should come after 4:1. So there are how many rows? This much of rows and this many columns or cells. You can better say cells. Is it okay? You try to do it. But let me run this particular example. Let me run this. So we are basically browsing through this part. Parent node. Parent node. So it will be, see, HTML document. It is saying that the object, it is HTML document is the parent node of document element. That means for HTML, it is the HTML document. And then it is saying that I cannot list a parent element of a document element because doc type is not an element. Okay. Now there is a loop. All the children under body. Okay. First is the div element. The div element. Then the UL. See, did it pick up this one? But if you had given nodes, child nodes, it will pick up begin as well as a text, because text is a node. These are elements. I'm only interested with elements because I want to have the children elements, the child elements. Therefore, we are only listing the elements. UL listed. Then div.
Div.
Div. Div.
The
Then,
script. Yes.
yes, script. Then nothing else because it ends. Are you getting me? Another thing, it is also an element, but it has not picked up li because it is not under body directly. Body is the grandfather, not immediate father. Immediate
Yes,
father
sir.
is UL.
Yes, you will.
Yeah. So if you are listed, you are interested with the body, children, elements only, you list it. That's how you go through this. Now, what happened? Oh, yes. See, this one was this part, begin, information, end, begin and end, and this is the list. Then you had an array, not an array, you had a table with 2 columns, and the values are 1, 2, 3, 4. But you have picked up 2 and painted it what? Red. Are you getting me? How did you get this thing? You have accessed the table element, out of which you have accessed the first row, which is of 0 index. And out of this first row, you wanted to access the second element, which is the cells. Cells 1, which is 2.
And it's 2.
Okay. That's why you are displaying this. So are you getting some interest? Because now unless we know the document, we will not be able to go to the form and manipulate or not manipulate. I cannot validate, check. I cannot, check for the validation whether it's okay or not. Then I will not be able to give a message and all those stuff in the form. So those events, like suppose I have a button. I want to do some action or some method. I want to call a method by clicking some button. Okay. Those events I have to also understand. But unless I understand the document well, I will not be able to do that. That is the whole point of view. Okay, we will slowly go at that stage. No hurry. So today we end over here. Is that fine?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir. But I will expect that it's a very simple thing. You want to have this particular thing, and then you can what is the select all the diagonal cells left to you have to paint this red 1:1. This is basically a data. 1:1 is nothing but data. 1:1, 2:2, 3:3, 4:4, and 5:5, you have to paint it red, diagonal. Okay. So see, just simple, it's TR, you put in the data through the TDs. Okay. Each is a TD. This one is a 1 TD, table data. This one is 1 TD. And this one is entire thing, one is a TR. So how many TDs per row, per TR? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. You are doing some gapping and all those stuff because I have to have a gap between this thing. That's why we have given that. This is part of HTML. You can do it if you want to. And this is the style of the table. Okay. Then you apply that style because you have used that in the header, and apply that style over when you use the table. You have a border collapse, and then within the TD you have a border with 1 pixel border, and the border will be a solid black. And there is a padding which is 3 pixel and 5 pixel max. Then you need to do a loop. You do it manually. You cannot say, I will pick up first, I will pick up this, then I will manually pick up this. No, through the loop only. That's why you learn loops. Okay. And your thing should be complete. So we will start on tomorrow. There is another class, different class. On Monday, we will start with the searching. This is very important. Searching. Getting the element by search. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Okay, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks. I will